It's an oscillating swinger.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, so as far as Dali are concerned, I mean, on the scoreboard they're still in the game, but I mean, in reality, are they?
Oh, well, they're going to have to change their approach to the game a hell of a lot.
Alright, third quarter action getting underway here at Eastern Oval. East Point kicking to the Peel Street end, and it was McAllister. Got it down, a little throw over the top. Went to Gundry, onto the run of Jackal, and Jackal goes up to half forward, bringing it to ground. With Dane Grenfell, got it on the Harley Inglis right up against the boundary line, but the boundary umpires elected to call that out, and I don't think there's too much dispute about that.
Very good decision, Michael.
Right in the don't go there. In the middle of the interchange gates. Stone got one over the mush that time, I think, in that ruck contest. Now there's been a throw called. It's against East Point. It's against Jason Delaney, who's arguing with the umpire, and Shane Page to take the resulting free kick. They can look to bring the ball inside 50. That's looking for Hanson. Got hands to it. McGill front and square. Couldn't quite get to it. Stone did, but then it's cleared by Brady at a defensive 50. Banwell went to ground initially. Now it's a push in the back according to the umpire.
What?
Advantage free kick goes to
Did he really
Boyle.
play a push in the back there?
Kicks the ball up to half forward. Tracking back was
Yeah, there's
McAllister.
another
Went
one.
to ground. Yeah, it's had a push in the back as well. Yes, it is. So consistency. Can't argue with that.
He only knows one.
So McAllister on left half back. Kick up to centre wing. Looking for Leonard. He's got a little toe poke in there as he was being held. Banwell, quick hands. Good opportunity this time for Hine. Ran his full measure. Well, good umpiring again because he has been pulled up. Did appear to go beyond the 15 metres.
He went,
You know,
he went past the 35 metre mark, Michael.
That's the one thing that the umpires have all in the Ballarat League have always been pretty generous on, in how far they allow players to run with the ball without bouncing it.
So Catsboy takes Stone. Square the ball out wide where he's got McAllister. There's a little pass over the top to McGill. Will do likewise looking for Gundry. Just inside the field of play. Takes the mark. Squares it up where Matthews takes the mark. So the two inclusions this week. So in the game. He squares it into the middle of the ground where Jake Edwards takes it down around the boot straps.
Another thumping kick.
Gets long. Presenting was Ankrum. Front to square was McGill, and then goes into the corridor, finds Mark Hanson, and he swings the ball goalwards. He should have gone back and taken the shot. He's played on immediately, and he's tried to hook the ball goalwards, and he's missed to the left-hand side. Again, it's about thinking it through.
Maybe now we know why he didn't take those shots in the second quarter.
Long
He
kick
had to
out.
be playing on.
Long kick out from full-back. In the end, it's right on attacking 50 for Daly, who'll get the free kick through Harley Inglis. Been a holding or a pushing free kick on that time. It's a high ball up into the corridor, working his way forward. Hanson couldn't create the contest. Tongue did very well. Back into the corridor, looking for Hine. Left the ball behind. Delaney just seemed to throw that ball out, just toe poke forward by Hine into the middle of the ground. Brady attacked the football first, and then I think he got a bit of an ankle tap that time. Got the free kick, goes back to Nick Hine under pressure. Brought the ball across his body, but good vision. And he finds Walters off a step. Finds Whittaker, still too far out to score. It just puts the ball up into the path of Delaney. Ran onto it nicely at half forward. Then he'll go looking for Banwell, good strong
What
hands.
a beautiful mark.
No, it's Sam Cooper again. Not having a good day with Sam Cooper, although he's having a good day. He'll line it up for his second goal.
He's lost a bit of his red.
Well, what's the point
Kid
of
off his
talking,
head,
Barry Ag, if you haven't got the microphone there?
That's right, that's what I keep saying to him. Go with the first option, Barry. Leave the microphone off.
Yeah, indeed. Don't go anywhere near it. So Sam Cooper kicked a second quarter goal. Pretty much the same distance and same angle at the opposite end of the ground. From 40 metres out, right foot drop punt. And has he just gone across the face? He has.
Gee, it didn't miss by too much, though.
So his point on the scoreboard in this third term, the margin as it was at half time, 16 points. So it'll be McGill from fullback. surveying the options. In the end, he'll go long. Jake Edwards worked his way forward. Whittaker got hands to it. Tongue did well, front and square. Delaney went through the hands. Quick hands by Kodorenko to Delaney. Good mark taken again this time for East Point. This time it is Banwell who's taken it on the left boot.
Have
He's
a look
got
at
East
that.
Point numbers everywhere.
1, 2, 3,
They
4,
could have
5,
rattled it.
And I think they did in the end.
6 to 2.
And Brad Whittaker well within scoring range. 45-degree angle, if that.
He's had a couple of opportunities today and hasn't slotted one through us yet, but he shouldn't have missed this one.
Well, he's only about 30 metres out. Chance to extend the margin, and he has pushed that left. And they may
Breeze might,
to
be
rue
strong,
this.
Breeze might be stronger down that end than we think, Michael.
Still playing some good footy, East Point at the moment, but they need to convert their opportunities on the scoreboard. 17 points the margin, 8-9, plays 6-4. McGill to bring it in again. It's 5 3/4 minutes into this third term. The grey skies here at Eastern Oval again. McGill comes to the northern side of the ground and holding
That's
his
a nice
ground
mark.
nicely. Thought McAllister was in that particular contest, but it was Jackal who took a terrific contested mark. The right half back, right on the paint. There's no one really moving for him. In the end, he just puts up a high ball. McAllister working his way forward, got hands to it. Shouldn't be paid the mark. Well, in the end, was.
Had to be. First, second, third, fourth, and last touch,
The
Michael.
fact that it rolled off the back of his East Point opponent, but Jackal again just gets to a 2-on-1 situation. Hanson was well and truly out of that contest, and it's Walters who takes the mark. Floats a ball with the space of Whittaker. Just had enough to carry Harley Inglis off by hand. Goes out to Cooper, and Cooper's kick was just off the instep. Not sure that's where he intended it, and it's found the boundary line. And there'll be a boundary throw in 75 around from the East Point goal, kicking to the Peel Street end toe.
Yeah, look, it's probably as good a place as he could have wanted it to be, other than up in the goal square.
Kodorenko slaps it down into the corridor. McGrath gets there first for the Devils, taken down in the contest.
Oh, come on.
Still
Up.
in dispute, and in the end, the umpire's going to settle that particular stalemate with another ball up. So McAllister and Kodorenko uncontested really in the end. Delaney just wrapped up by a legion of Devils. I like that one, Bill.
Yeah, Legion of Devils.
Yes, we've used that a couple of times. Probably going a bit stale now. On the attacking point of the square. Kodorenko beaten to it by McAllister this time. Tried to get the handball out, and it was dispossessed. Jolted free, and Sam Cooper took clean possession, but he was wrapped up immediately. And again, there will be another ball up. Umpire just pushing the players into just opening a little bit more space. Third man up was Walter, slapped it forward. Running onto it was Cooper. And they go as far as Page. Onto Jake Edwards by hand, onto Catsboy and Tate Stone. He'll swing the ball out wide and on the run. Taking it on the chest is McGill. Just puts it into space. Having to hold his ground was Hanson, then went to ground. Phillips did very well. In fact, it was Watkins. Handball back. Just trying to see now that East Point play. He was wrapped up by a couple of Darley players with no prior opportunity. Let's see, I think that's one of the Hind boys.
Not
Yeah,
behind, it wasn't behind, was it?
No, I was waiting for that. The Kodorenko. Loaded it down. It's just very scrappy. It's almost as if it has been raining all this third term. A lot of stoppages, a lot of ball at ground level.
Yeah, we
Conditions.
just had that little bit of drizzle that's probably made the ball a little bit slippery now.
9 minutes in. Either side with a goalless in this third term. Jake Edwards attacked the football nicely. Quick give by hand to Harley Inglis. Drives the ball along inside 50. Toby Boyle read it nicely. Got a hand to it, and he's able to get back onto it quickly. And on the left boot, he'll kick it out into space where Jack Rommel juggles the mark in front of Nathan Jackal. Loops a little pass over the top. Was he corralled that time? Bartlett, not according to the umpire. Now there is a legging against Nathan Jackal to go the way of
I
Jack
actually thought it
Rommel.
was the other way round.
Yeah.
I thought it was Jackal that was legs.
So by hand, Rommel on the tongue back to Walters. It's a little bit of space getting around on the right boot. Hicks to a contest. Leonard coming over from the side. Got hands to it. McAllister was in there as well. Jake Edwards with strength. Just got the ball on the boot right up against the boundary line. And well done by Sam Cooper. And it's going to be a high free kick against Nathan Jackal, who, well, to be fair, he did get him high with the elbow as he tried to defend him off.
It was stupid. The ball was out of bounds and it was totally unnecessary.
So Cooper goes up to half forward. I would have thought Page in front with good strong hands. He paid the mark. Ball was knocked out of his grasp after he'd taken the mark. Now runs his full measure in the middle of the ground. Drive the ball along into the corridor, getting across, but there's the whistle gone.
Kick up field.
Now it is a kick up field. Dane Grenfell to take the resulting free kick. And distance really shouldn't be an issue. He'll be kicking from pretty much right on 50. Kicking with the aid of the breeze to the city end of the ground. And Darley need this. They trail by 17 points. Goalless in this third term, the opening 10 minutes. Close to the man on the mark. It's horrible off the boot. Will land in the forward pocket. Getting across Leonard. Couldn't complete the mark. Ball in dispute. Ground level again. Trying to force his way out of the pack was Hanson with some strength. He'll need to release that football.
That could have well been deemed as deliberate then.
So from the ball up, 20 around from the Darley goal. Good tap out goes to Nick Hines. Just on the boot. Goes up to half back. Whittaker got hands to it, couldn't complete the mark. Was he taken down when he didn't have the football? This point just holding firm across half back. Rigby at ground level did eventually release the ball and another pack forms about 5 metres in from the boundary. 40 around from the Darley goal. They trail by 17 points. They need goals and they need them soon. Rigby did very well but got it down to Mins. Just squeezed the kick out. Dunn trying to get the handball away. It was smothered off the hands of Dane Grenfell and ricocheted over the boundary line and out of bounds. Nathan Jackal, obvious from his little free kick that he gave away before, sitting on the bench at the moment.
Yeah,
So Page tapped it down into space. Oh! Dane Grenfell took the pack on front on that time. I thought he was taken high, and that's the way Mark Hanson's appealing to the umpire, not according to the umpire was there.
Well,
a
it's
high
going to
free
be
kick.
holding the ball in that case.
Walters got a fingernail to it. Done. Dangerously into the corridor. Opened the door this time for Ankrum. Went on the line, but getting back. It was Bartlett who'd smothered the ball, then got the ball on the boot. Again, McGill went to ground out of that contest and opened the door for Jaden Hind, who'll square it up, and he's got Walters, a true centre half back.
They're away.
Now they are away. Now they can spread. Banwell.
This should be an easy goal.
Just into the path of Jordan, takes the mark on the lead, maybe too far out to score. He'll just look to nurse the kick over the top. Hands to it that time was Tongue, couldn't complete the mark. Deckett needed to bend down and pick it up, couldn't collect it. Tried to tap it forward, well done by Saul Grenfell, got it on to McGrath. He just threw the ball on the boot only as far as Nick Hind, and he'll square it wide with some good vision. And it's Jaden Hind who takes the mark. To swing it wide, looking for Delaney. Just
Well read, son. Well
on his
read.
heels that time. It was read nicely by Page. Intercepted the mark. And he'll go out wide where Mins takes the mark. Needs to get the kick away. Goes looking for Hanson. Dragged it in with the left hand. Now with his momentum. Takes a bounce. Approaches 50. Looked a handball over the top in the end. He goes.
Got it!
Kick it goal and he's missed to the right hand side. Again, a little hesitancy there. Wasn't quite sure which way to go.
But that was probably one of the most promising pieces of football they put together for about a quarter and a half.
So Boyle long out from full back. He's got Hind right in front of the grandstand. Hind just trying to play for it. 50-metre penalty there. Took the mark. Rigby on his own centre wing. Pardon me, takes the mark. Hands off to Delaney quickly. But he's looking for Brady and the man in front. Drew Edwards took a good contested mark in the end. But Saul Grenfell short, but probably too short in the end. Hanson provides something at centre wing in the end. He just handballs over the top to Ross Gundry. Back to Drew Edwards. Into the corridor where he's got Jake Edwards. Just throws the ball. The boot goes up high. These point numbers getting across. It was done. Couldn't complete the mark. Opened the door for Matthews. But nobody inside attacking 50, and it's chopped off by Watkins. In fact, that's James Park rather. Picks up looking for Cashin. Ball sat nicely for him. Good vision by hand
Fell over.
to Whitaker. Back to Walters into Delaney in the middle of the ground. Had his handball turned over, but some good support there provided by Jaden Hyde. Took clean possession. Didn't quite get the ball away. Eventually it was dislodged. Again at ground level. Well done by Bartlett. On this time to Cooper and just swings the ball deep inside 50. Getting back Brady. Couldn't get the mark. Jordan at the top of the square was pushed off the ball.
Sorry.
Legally, according to the umpire, opened the door for Deckett. And Deckett can clear defensive 50 where he finds Cat's boy. And Tate Stone takes the mark. Right on attacking 50, or defensive 50 for Darley. Kick down the line, McAllister looks to present, so too does Leonard. Gallup gets there first, the ball didn't sit for him nicely, and the boundary line's the winner on this occasion. 15 and a half minutes in, both sides goalless in this third term, the margin 16 points. Darley have had their opportunities in this third term though. In the ruck contest, Leonard got it
That's
down.
ball.
Holding the ball.
Romerell just laid on the ball. Eventually the ball dislodged. He was slung probably a couple of times that time, Daniel Tongue. Gundry turned it over by hand onto Cooper. He was taken down in the tackle as he got the kick away. Some good strength by Leonard. Got it onto Mings. Back to Jake Edwards. Looked to loop the handball over the top. Harley Inglis lost his footing, then applied a good tackle on Bartlett that time. Play on's the call by the umpire. And in the end, it is holding the ball. It'll go the way of Harley Inglis. Sensed the danger. Applied a terrific tackle on Bartlett. And the younger of the Inglis brothers takes the free kick. Again, just a high up and under kick.
Nobody.
Whitaker set himself. Walters, the back of the pack, mocked up nicely, got it onto Boyle. Keeps the ball low. He missed his intended target in Brady. McAllister lost his footing, but then had the presence of mind to get it on by hand to Drew Edwards. And he finds a player in Page at centre half forward. He'll just loop the pass
That's
over the top.
nice,
And he had into space on the stretch
Planned.
at full pace. Chris McGill takes the mark and he can line it up about 20 metres out, just slightly off centre.
He's been penalised 5 metres for some reason.
Well, distance is not going to be an issue anyway.
Not a question about distance.
Yeah,
Why
well.
was he penalised those 5 metres?
Funny, you're the only one that picks these things up, really, aren't you?
Well, it was clear where he took the mark, yet the umpire come down and pulled him back 5 metres from where he took the mark.
Alright, well, Chris McGill must kick this, must convert
Like zero.
from 20 metres out, get the margin back to 10 points. McGill off about 3 steps, just nurses it home. No!
Huh?
He's missed to the left-hand side.
How could he? Oh, hit the post.
Oh, it must have just clipped the post,
Yeah,
but
but
again,
'cause
another missed opportunity.
Because I was just going to say, how could he call that a point from where he was standing? But yeah,
That'd be the reason why, but
Exactly.
another wasted opportunity. They can't afford to keep missing
No.
these chances, Darley. Just a very lackadaisical approach off about 3 steps. As Boyle brings the ball in from
Good
played
mark.
onto himself from full back, and then just trying to straighten the ball up. Missed his target, looking for Nick Hind, and it landed on the chest of Harley Inglis. And Harley Inglis, another opportunity for the Devils. Well, we said McGill must convert before, but Harley Inglis, this is imperative. He's pushed this one left, but
All
it's
the
going
way,
to
all the
fade
way.
back nicely. Has it just got enough carry on it? It has. So Darley get the first goal of the third term, and the margin back inside 10 points. Darley move along to 7-6-48. East Point 8-9-57 on the BFL Game of the Round scoreboard, Barry.
what's the time factor, please, Michael?
We're 18 3/4 minutes in.
18, and that's the first goal for the quarter.
It is the
as
first
it's called.
goal, yes.
Yeah, it's been very, very tight football.
It certainly has. It's been more like sort of wet weather football, just minus a lot of wet weather. So McAllister up against Kotorenko. Kotorenko brilliantly down to Walters, gets the clearance, goes up inside 50. Brady got hands to it. Now, free kick's been picked out of that particular contest. I suspect it's against Brady. It's going to go the way of Drew Edwards. Inside defensive 50, goes in the direction of Gallup, needs to set himself. Well done by Tongue with the defensive spoil. Loose ball, well done by Brady. Got it onto Park. He turned his handball over. Now Harley Inglis will kick into space on the lead. And good strong hands. Well, they were outnumbered, well and truly outnumbered that time, Darley. And Leonard took a terrific mark, and he'll just go laterally, representing and taking the mark is Gallup.
You've got to get it in quicker. Taking far too long.
Just nursed the ball inside 50. Darley with numbers there. As Matthews couldn't quite complete the mark. Ball at ground level again. Dwayne Edwards is there, right up against the boundary line. I thought Travis Mintz, in his attempt to try and free the arms and get the handball away, had taken the ball over the boundary line. He duly did. And there'll be another boundary throw in.
And this young kid has done a sterling job on the boundary today, Michael.
From the boundary throw in. Leonard forced it forward. Stone needs to get the vision of Gallup. Eventually did. His handball missed the target, but an errant push in the back against the East Point defence. It goes the way of Travis Mintz. Now, this is the exact same spot that Daniel Jordan kicked his goal in the third term.
That would have been the second term, Michael.
Oh, sorry, the second term, yeah. Yes, even I make mistakes.
And unfortunately, Minzy ain't DJ.
No, but he's got a good boot on him.
Oh my God.
Not on this occasion. He started it right. It's not quite going to make the distance.
Good
Darren
pass,
Leonard, is
good
he
pass.
taking the mark over the line? He has. Got first hands to it, but juggled it on the third attempt, by which time it had gone across the line. And a minus score. Kicked 1-4 to 2 behinds in this third term. Made a lot of margin up from half time. Now they got the run through the middle. Handball needed to hit the target, but it opened the door for Jaden Hind. Took a couple of bounces. Now he'll send the ball goalwards. It's swinging back nicely. If his first
Got it.
his goal in the second term was outstanding. That was near enough to it as well. He's got 4, and seemingly against the flow of play.
Well, clearly against the flow of play.
East Point have managed to get one back, and they've pushed the margin back out to 14 points again. East Point 9-9-63, Darley 7-7-49 on the BFL Game of the Round scoreboard target.
Yeah, it really hurts when you put everything into 15 or 20 minutes of hard slugging football to cut the lead back by a few points and then give one away like that against the run of play, as you said, Michael.
So Jaden Hind, his 4th goal of the afternoon, a superb solo effort through the middle of the ground. And again, they should get the clearance through Delaney, although in the end he just hands back to Whitaker. Goes wide to half forward where Walters takes the mark. Looks to come back inboard. He'll go to Jordan, one out, and used his strength really well. Couldn't quite drag the mark in against Deckard.
Oh,
Drew
there's
Edwards
legs!
was there. Jake Edwards seemed to be legged, and the umpire has picked that. No,
Painted the other way! Oh, what?
No, I'm not quite sure what that was for. It is going to be an East Point free kick.
Yeah.
It's going the way of
For
Daniel
what?
Jordan.
For
and-
what? For what?
Well, Jake Edwards has got the arms.
It not only should have been a free kick against Dan Jordan, it should have been a 50-metre penalty as well.
Well,
That was a deliberate trip.
can't say that I saw the free kick in the first place and what it's been paid for. So Jordan from 45 out. Well, splits the middle that time.
That's game over now.
Well, you'd think so. I think it's going to be difficult for Darley now. 20 points the margin, East Point 10-9-69, Darley 7-7-49. But again, without the benefit of a replay, Drew Edwards is, he's complaining to the umpire and very much a kicking motion, as if to say, well, I'm sure that Jake Edwards was tripped. He certainly appeared.
Clearly
He was late,
tripped.
didn't he?
But what we've got to
deliberate
determine,
action.
where was the free kick paid in the first place to Dan Jordan? That's what we've
It
got
was
to
paid
work.
afterwards.
He paid a free kick to the Darling to Deckard.
All right, well, now you're just confusing things with a free kick to Deckard. Well, there was no free kick paid except for Daniel Jordan, and he's
Yes.
subsequently gone on and kicked the goal, and that's what Darley are arguing about, that it appeared as though they missed the free kick to Jake Edwards. Anyway, secondary ball up in the middle of the ground. McAllister got it down nicely. Opportunity this time for Darley to get the clearance. Hanson seemed to be clearly pushed in the back against Hine that time. Doesn't matter because they follow it up with Gundry. Gundry goes long inside 50. Overcommitting was Dwayne Edwards. Loose ball at the top of the square. East Point getting numbers back and just conveniently put the ball over the line. Was Toby Boyle. Now, Toby Boyle's not remonstrated against Dwayne Edwards that time, so one would suggest it might have been inadvertent. Well, at least we hope it was. So from the boundary throwing again. Leonard got high, right up against the boundary line. Can Gallup keep it in? He can't. And there'll be another boundary throw in 24 and a half minutes in. This point with the last 2 goals, have they broken the game open in this third term? Leonard got it down. Harley Inglis, was he held as he tried to get the ball away? It was chopped off
that time.
by Delaney. By hand onto Boyle. Ball goes up to centre wing. Whittaker got hands to it. Jake Edwards tried to squeeze the kick out and did so successfully. Leonard with his handball missed the target, put Mings under pressure. Well done by Rigby, just got a toe poke in. And now East Point should be able to clear out a defensive 50, but only momentarily. Leonard just brings the ball across his body, but here is another whistle and another free kick's been picked out. I think it's a Darley free kick this time.
Yeah, that's what he pointed to, Michael.
It might have been a free kick in that particular contest before where Travis Mings went to ground. Did seem to be taken high. He'll play on quickly, goes in the direction of Hansen, set himself to take the mark, couldn't complete it. Picked up the loose ball, goes to the top of the square, but getting back. Terrific mark taken by Walters, and if he's not best on ground, I don't know who is.
He's been terrific all day, hasn't he?
Finds Park, approaches defensive 50 and kick long down the line. Whittaker making space. Well, he got first hands to the ball, bounced off the chest and then over the boundary line. Probably should have done better, Brad Whittaker. He cops a smack on the backside from Chris Banwell that time for his efforts. Just reassuring after that little mistake. So from the boundary throwing once more. Walters doing everything this afternoon in the ruck, guided it down, taken front on. Was he taken over the shoulder? He was. Now we'll go against Travis Mins, so Hayden Walters swings the handball laterally. The run of Hine, and diving back, taking a terrific, well-judged mark, is Delaney. Squared up, dangerous kick looking for Whittaker. He copped a decent old shove in the back as he took the mark. And he'll line it up. Yeah, it is, number 21. And Brad Whittaker's taken the mark. So a goal here, stretched the margin out to 26 points approaching orange time. And whilst clearly it's not impossible to kick goals to the Peel Street end, it's East Point that are finishing this quarter the stronger of the two sides. It kicks from right on the 50-metre paint. It's got across the face and a minus score, but that is the conclusion of the third term. And whilst Darley certainly had their opportunities, they kicked the first goal of the third term, albeit approaching time on. It's East Point with the last 2 goals to close out the term that have increased their half-time lead of 16 points out to 21 points at the final break. East Point 10-10-70, Darley 7-7-49. As I mentioned, the margin 21 points, and Tiger the goal kickers.
I get that one.
Collectively in that third term. Scoring certainly seemed a lot more difficult with ball at ground level, plenty of stoppages and so forth, but you just think that East Point have got the answers. They lead by 21 points. Quarter remaining, ball in the middle, and Kotarinko once again got it down. Reading it well, Nick Hine, but then he turned it over to Harley Inglis, brings the ball inside 50. Gallup needs a good bounce to run onto it. Ankrum did well. He'll look to square it up, goes in the direction of Dane Grenfell. Ball at ground level, now he recovers the better Dane Grenfell, but there is a free kick picked out. It's against Paul Kotarinko, and it will go the way of Dane Grenfell. I'm not sure if it was in the phase before that. The phase of play before that, Dane Grenfell, but he was trying to make an opportunity in a tight situation. In the end, he's going to be lining it up directly in front. He needs to put this one through slightly off the side of the boot. Leonard works his way forward. It's carried the pack, but it had pushed to the right-hand side. So just when Darley needed that quick start, Dane Grenfell can't convert from right on 50. And Boyle plays on quickly.
And to make you feel better, Michael, you didn't understand what the free kick was for. Neither did Grenfell. He was ready to play on.
So in the end, Boyle accepts the pass back at the top of the square, goes out wide to Phillips, and Phillips will square it up dangerously. Thought he nearly took that particular mark there, that East Point player. In the end, it's off to Nick Hine, goes up to centre wing. Banwell got first hands to it. Leonard recovered the better. Got it on McGallop, just trying to tap it to his advantage. McGrath missed the target, although there in support was Stone. He's got the run of Ellis, needs to arch the back or get rid of the ball. What was that for? It was dislodged some way or another. I thought it was play on. And in
Well,
the end,
what
it's
was
an
the
East Point
kick
free
for?
kick.
It was a free
Goes
kick.
to
That's
Phillips.
holding the man.
And Phillips has got Brady on it, left half forward. No run really on the mark, and he just goes up easy into space, finds Banwell. And where Dane Grenfell missed at the Peel Street end, if Chris Banwell can convert on a very slight angle from only about 25 metres out,
Yeah, look,
you can pretty much get the fat lady out of the bar because it's going to be
the
over.
benefit for East Point too is that Chris Banwell had a very quiet start, but as the game's progressed, he's worked his way into it, and he's become a pretty important player to them.
And kicks that one through nicely. So East Point home now, you'd suspect. Margin out to 26 points, but importantly, the Kangaroos with the opening goal of the final term. 11-10-76 Darley, 7-8-50. The margin 26 points. Chris Banwell, well, a good return from him. He hasn't played a senior game for, just a little short of 12 months. And as you're right too, I mean, he has worked his way into the game quite nicely. And that is a good sign, having had hip problems over the last couple of years, along with a knee as well. There's a blood ruling against McAllister, who's coming off the ground. So I'll have to get a replacement for him, who's not ready. It's Sam Hitchings is going to come back onto the ground.
You're going to go into the ruck, Sam, is he?
No, Darren Leonard's moved his way into the middle of the ground, and Sam Hitchings will replace Darren Leonard, who needs to run pretty much the full length of the ground to get back to where Darren Leonard was. No, in fact, he's going to go to the wing. Saul Grenfell. Handball missed the target. Romerell was dispossessed, opened the door for Stone. He'll swing it in the middle of the ground. He had to judge it well, but he did take the mark in the end. Nathan Jackals slap bang in the middle of the eastern oval, but he's turned it over again. He was looking for Darcy Gallup, didn't look good off the boot, and it was chopped off with the intercept mark by Boyle. Switch play. He's got tongue on that familiar left boot. He's got the run of Walters, I think it is. On the right boot, and drive the ball along inside 50. Jordan in the middle of the pack, tried to drag it down on the third effort. Play on's the call by the umpire. Ball eventually emerges. A good handball in tight. Open the door for Jackal over the top to Gallup, and Gallup's got Hitchings in the middle of the ground with space. Now he'll drive the ball along inside 50. Hanson getting back, dragged it down with the one hand, pushed it forward, and then I think it's Cashin there, took clean possession. He was wrapped up in a tackle immediately by Dane Grenfell. So 40 out from Darley goal, kicking to the Peel Street end. Must kick a goal from this attacking 4-0. Grenfell taken high, spinning himself out of the tightness of the contest that time. And he's a little bit closer in this time. He'll be kicking from about 42 out, just slightly off centre. And he'll just want to execute a little bit better than he did with his last effort. And that one looks much better off the boot as he just forced it to the left-hand side a little bit. He has.
That's very unlike Grenfell style kicking too, isn't it, Michael? He's normally a very reliable kick.
And it just seems to be Darley's afternoon, I'm afraid. A Boyle from full-back into the back pocket. He's got might be Watkins who's taking the mark. Goes to Park, still deep inside defensive 50, hugging the boundary line. Took the mark in front of Ankrum. To go down the line. Still contest. Leonard caught behind, got hands to it, nearly dragged the mark down. Delaney inside. Released the ball, then dragged it back in. He'll need to try and release that football. Good decision by the umpire. It'll go the way of Darren Leonard. Jason Delaney just needed to release that football, the first effort. Leonard rewarded with a good tackle. Off a step. Kicks long, but again, there's nobody at home. Their entries inside attacking 50 have been spasmodic at best, and Hayden Walters has been outstanding. Took a terrific mark, setting himself and the bigger man in McAllister took the mark in front of Cooper. Square it up. Gallup. The sunshine makes a reappearance. Gallup to come back inboard. Go down the corridor. Jake Edwards sets himself, got hands to it, can complete the mark. Ball at ground level again. Park is set upon by a legion of Devils and no prior opportunity. 48 around from, or out from the Darley goal. wasted opportunities by Darley early in this final term. Leonard down into space. Taken front on was Ankrum. Was he taken over the shoulder? He was. Toby Boyle was particularly impressed with that decision. It was there. I'm not disputing that it wasn't there. So Ankrum goes looking for Jake Edwards. Good strong hands in front of Dunn. And for one of the few times this afternoon, although we copped a smack on the scone that time, Jake Edwards, for his efforts, but one of the few times they've been sort of deliberate when they've come inside attacking 50. It's just been a little too haphazard and just tended to lob the ball inside attacking 50 in the past. So Jake Edwards directly in front, must convert from here as he pushed that to the left. He has.
Got the scores for you too, Michael.
Yes, Bill Lucas.
And Kate's listening, by the way.
Kate.
He told me to tell you that. 3/4 time, Lake Windaree 5-2-32. Cats rather. Redan
Kath.
13-12-90. North City 12-13-85. Melton 4-5-29. Sebastopol 6-5-41. Sunbury 21-13-139. Melton South 16-11-107 to Ballarat 12-11-83.
Still a quarter going there at the rec reserve. East Point have brought the ball up to centre wing. The outer side of the ground. Kotorenko collected nicely, then had his kick smothered. Ricocheted into space. It was chopped off by Romerall. He'll switch play into the middle of the ground on the run. It was Phillips, and Phillips brought the ball up inside 50, getting an awkward bounce was Drew Edwards. Seemed to be taken high. The umpire's lurking. Is he going to be holding the ball? It is.
That is terrible. He nearly had his head pulled off, and he gets pinged for holding it. Admittedly, he didn't try to get it out, but I don't see how he could have seen he was still holding it, and I'm not seeing him nearly get his head ripped off.
Daniel Tongue to take the resulting free kick. 24 points the margin to put this to a 5-goal ball game. Daniel Tongue goalless this afternoon. Walks inside 50 now. He'll kick from 40 metres out, left footer as he just tugged it to the right. It has, in fact. He's only just squeezed it in for a minor score. That's their second score of this final term. 25 points the margin. And McGill plays to himself. Then off a step, drive the ball long. Start attacking 50. Outside of defensive 50. Walters did well, handballed out into space. Romerall just threw the ball on the left boot. Up against the boundary line. Jordan traps it nicely, and then he'll square it up looking for Kotorenko. Good contest provided by Inglis, but East Point can bring it up to the top of the square. Tongue getting back, but in the end couldn't complete the mark, and the ball loose right up against the scoreline in the end. Daly concede the minor score. So McGill again plays to himself. Now we go to the southern side of the ground, climbing over the top. A good defensive spoil that time, just trying to see who that East Point player was. Climbed very high and very aggressive. Defensive spoil, found the ball over the boundary line, found the boundary line. Right in front of or near enough to the East Point Social Club. Hooked out into the path of Matthews. Kicks out to half forward, right up against the boundary line. Darren Leonard can't keep it in the field of play. And again, there'll be another boundary throw-in. But sort of gained about 50 metres that time, Darley. But look, if they're going to really try and, I guess, have some sort of influence on the scoreboard now, they've got to do it in the next couple of minutes. Otherwise, the game, if it isn't already beyond them, will just drift away. In the end, it's going to be Delaney on the hard ball, goes out wide. Half forward looking for Whittaker, but Dwayne Edwards, who's gone back up the defensive spoil, and it's over the boundary line. It seems to have lost a little bit of its spark, this contest.
Yeah, they're just going through the motions at the moment, aren't they? Which is sad because it's been quite a good, entertaining game up until 3/4 time.
McAllister and Kotorenko with the left hand. Throwing it forward was Walters that time, and it should have been Andy. Here's a free kick. Page with a little bit of dash. Goes through the middle of the ground with a terrific 40-metre pass right onto the chest of Jake Edwards. Now Edwards will be kicking from about 52 out. Well, we keep saying that they need to kick this goal. Got plenty of distance on it. Has it got the accuracy? Well, that's probably their best set shot at goal all afternoon. And just when you think the game may very well be over, Jake Edwards gets his first of the afternoon with a terrific kick from outside 50. And Darley, well, they breathe, if only just. 20 points to margin, 8-10, 58. East Point 11-12, 78. Just ticking into 12 minutes in this final term target.
Yeah. Too little, too late, though, Michael, unfortunately.
Well,
You get the feeling, but, I mean, three quick goals.
it's another blood rule.
Yeah, it's going to be an East Point player this time. Jason
Yeah,
Delaney
but-
making his way.
While he's running off, Mike, since they've had Edwards up on a forward line, it's an entirely different forward line.
Yes, I had him in the second term as well, and he presented nicely, but just really they weren't able to hit the scoreboard often enough. That was the problem. That's where East Point got well and truly back in the game. Now that should be recalled, that particular throw. Only went probably about a metre above the umpire's head. What do you do then? Normally it's a bounce, then it's a throw. Now what do you do?
The
Count
throw-
it out of his nostrils or something
the
like
throw
that.
didn't go much higher than the bounce either.
By the time eventually on to Rigby, and Rigby goes up to attacking 50, but it was chopped off by McGill. Swing it wide. Reading nicely, taking a good mark was Page. He looked to run back inboard, runs his full measure and then keeps the ball low. Ankrum favoured, took the mark. Now he can run into the corridor, lines it up and makes no mistake from 40 out. Here they come.
All right, Michael.
Now, is he allowed to pinch your lines, Tiger?
No.
Too bad, you're not copywritten. And I did say, well, 3 quick goals. Well, there's the first offer.
Right.
Yeah, well.
Back-to-back goals
Hey,
now.
Well, but you sent Billy over to the bar to get the fat lady out.
Yes, but she refused to come because it was nice and warm in there. 14 points to margin. Darley with back-to-back goals. 9-10, 64. East Point 11-12, 78. And just maybe a few nervous moments ahead for East Point. Just when we thought the game was drawing to a fairly predictable conclusion, Darley have turned it around with the last 2 goals. 14 minutes in, so still plenty of time. McAllister down to Page. Only as far as Bartlett. Bartlett threw it on the boot. Trapped nicely by Park. Was he taken over the shoulder? He was. Now, has advantage been paid? No, it's going to have to go back behind the mark. Rigby was making a beeline towards the goals. And Park go laterally where he's got Walters. Unattended, centre wing. Go wider still where he's got Boyle. And Boyle will keep it low and presenting nicely on the lead. Looks like Stephen Pye, the tattooed. Stephen Pye takes the mark at right half forward.
To be able to sink decent.
So goes with the floating ball, goes to the hot spot. Now is that good hands. Well, mark appeared to be taken, but apparently over the line by Brady, and it is a minor score to the right hand side. Still need pretty much 3 unanswered goals to Darley. McGill whips the handball over the top to McGrath.
Well,
He's just
smothered.
tried to curl the ball around the oncoming Stephen Pye that time. Failed to do so, and it's ricocheted off hands. And over the boundary line once again. East Point player in the hands of the trainers. McAllister decisively up against the boundary line. Jaden Hine couldn't keep it in like he did in the second term. David Brady looks as though he's making his way to the boundary line. He's the man in the hands of the trainers. No, he's turned around and go back to the goal line. From the boundary throw and fell short Kotorenko onto Walters. Under pressure, he's held up but still managed to get the handball out into the path of Cooper. On attacking 50, you look to square it up to the hot spot. Brady getting back. Ellis over the top. Put it down, now taken in a fairly high tackle, and it's going to be Daniel Jordan to take the free kick. Directly in front, he will definitely put the game away now, and that is 50 metres. It's against Dwayne Edwards now. This is silly. Really is silly. He feigned to give the ball back to Daniel Jordan. Almost as if to trick him as if he was a 5-year-old. And Daniel Jordan from point blank range makes no mistake. Well, he probably would have kicked it anyway, but made an absolute certainty of it with the 50-metre penalty. And they're the sorts of things that Rod McPherson's trying to get out of the Darley psyche in the way that they play the game, unfortunately. Just silly little games like that just really aren't warranted.
They are not, Michael, and there is no one known you can ask me or get me to go into the Darley rooms after this match to talk to one.
Barry, you're going down to the Darley rooms.
Not a snowball's chance in hell, mate.
So Dan Jordan, his 5th goal of the afternoon, 28 for the season.
How many Sean Hine got? He's
Got 4.
Hasn't he?
Yep.
Should have had the opportunity to get his 5th one a little while.
So 12-13 plays 9-10, marching back out to 21 points. In the middle again, Stone left it behind, ball loose in the middle of the ground. It's going to be an East Point free kick. Walters hands off this time
I
to.
don't think it was Walters' free kick.
He was the one that handed it off, but it does look as though it's going to come back.
Cooper?
Yeah, it is Sam Cooper. Very honours the run of Phillips, and his handball was turned over, although Harley Inglis then just gave it straight back to Phillips off the side of the boot, but on the stretch, going with the flight of the ball, Page takes a good defensive and goal-saving mark. Swing it out wide, looking for Leonard. But he had his arms chopped, not according to the umpire, right up against the boundary line, collected by Kodorenko. Just managed to get the handball away. Tongue beaten to it well by Jackal. Brought the ball across his body into the path of Gallup. Went to ground and then was beaten to it a little too easily by Boyle. And he spots up Nick Hine. Hine will just steer a ball into the path of Whittaker. Couldn't complete the mark. Front and square was Tongue. Then handballed into the path of Watkins. He was dispossessed when he was tackled. Ross Gundry on the bottom of that pack. He was set upon pretty much immediately, no prior opportunity. And there'll be another boundary throw and approaching time on. 21 points the margin. East Point at this stage look as though they're going to improve their season to 4-1 after 5. Delaney did well, got it onto Tongue off a step. Goes up inside 50. Darling numbers went down into the air, but in the end it fell nicely for Drew Edwards. Just steered a little kick over the top into the path of Jackal. It's been terrific this afternoon. A couple of little mistakes, including a kick looking for Gallup that time. Couldn't drag it in on the half volley. And Toby Boyle has been serviceable this afternoon. Holds it in, there'll be another ball up. Umpire Walker, a couple of steps in from the boundary. He puts it up. Walter's got it down. This point can bring it up to just forward of centre wing. Cashin takes the mark. Drive the ball inside 50, looking for Jordan. Man in front did very, very well. I think that's Ellis who's taken a terrific contested mark. Had Dan Jordan bearing down on him. And he'll switch play. Goes in the direction of Page. Well done by Jaden Hine. Created the contest. Ball loose right up against the boundary line. Hine tries to keep it in. Page under pressure. Needed to keep his feet. Open the door for Hine. Just on the little left boot. Went looking for Brady. Couldn't complete the mark. Terrific handball. A string of handballs to Whittaker. Now back to Delaney. Off a step. He can settle it up and he can kick the goal from 40 out. So now Barry Aggie can go and get the fat lady. Drag her out from the bar. I don't care whether it's warm. Because East Point are home. And they move along to 13-13-91. Darley 9-10-64. 27 points the margin. Jason Delaney, his first goal. And good execution, good finish by the star midfielder this afternoon, Tiger.
Yep. Well, I think DJ will be pretty happy with the performance today.
I think he'll be pretty happy across the board. It's been, apart from a slow start, probably the first half of the opening quarter, they've pretty much been on top throughout the day. So McAllister, does she? I got a request, we'll have to do it off the air though, unfortunately. And Webb, along with Ross Gundry there. And Daniel Tongue, for his point, just politely hands the ball back to the umpire. Julie throws the ball skywards again. Harley Inglis couldn't take clean possession.
What's he doing out there?
Jackal just back into the pack. Then he was taken in a tackle, appeal for holding the ball. But
What was Julie doing out there?
Don't know why. Concentrate on the game. Kodorenko leaning over the top. Walters couldn't take clean possession. Brady did well. In fact, it was Boyle. On to Walters. Walters goes up to centre wing. Drop of the ball was Romerell. Onto Delaney. Turned his handball over. But Darley can only get it as far as Toby Boyle on the defensive point of the square. Steers a pass over the top. It's that Bartlett, I think, that's taken the mark. It is. On the left boot, just defensive side of centre, who kick it up to centre half forward. Ellis with the defensive spoil, running onto it was Jaden Hine, couldn't take the ball with him. Taken front on was Kotorenko, taken down, no free kick. These point numbers this time through Tongue. Hands out wide to Banwell off the side of the boot, but fortuitously pushing forward and taking the mark down low is Nick Hine, and he can line it up. 45-degree angle, if that. We'll be kicking from about 40 metres out to get
This
the
could
margin
just
beyond
about
5.
seal it, Michael.
Well, the fat lady's on her way. And I don't think she's called Julie either. So Nick Hyde. His brother's kicked 4 this afternoon, looking to get on the scoreboard for the first time. From 40, it's a helicopter kick. Is it just going to fall short? No, it's just got enough on it. Didn't look good off the boot, but the accuracy was there. And East Point out beyond 5 goals now. They've been the more consistent across the 4 quarters, and they move along to 14, 13, 97, Darley 9, 10, 64. 33 points the margin, ticking into 23 minutes, target.
Yes, unfortunately, the game's been virtually over since half time.
Well, yeah.
Because East Point just absolutely wrecked them in the second quarter.
Yeah, they did. I mean, Darley had their chances in that third term, kicking with the breeze, just didn't convert their opportunities. But the most likely team this afternoon has been the home team, as Delaney got the clearance once again up to half forward. Spill from McGill, collected the football, but then was taken in a good tackle, and that's Sam Cooper in there, just trying to barge his way through that particular pack. It's just starting a spot fire or two out there. And the umpire's going to ball it up right on the tacking 50. Kotorenko slaps it forward, gains about 25 metres into the path of Jordan. Couldn't collect the first time, did the second time. Just missed his target, looking for Pye with the handball. Ball at ground level again. Dwayne Edwards is in there, so too Stephen Pye. And the umpire's going to elect to ball it up. It's getting very dark here at Eastern Oval. We've had oscillating weather all day.
Intermittent too.
That as well. McGill missed the target with his handball, looking for Page, and once again, just a metre in from the boundary line, 45 around from the East Point goal. Will be another stoppage. The umpire puts the ball towards the sky again. Again, a very low throw up, and Jackal just slips over the boundary line. Football intact, and took it over the line, and once again there'll be another boundary throw in front of the grandstand here at Eastern Oval. We'll have a little bit of time to analyse this afternoon's contest. Good little handball through traffic, found Delaney, and Delaney will look to square it up. Hine, that's Nick Hine, was caught behind, slapped into the path of Pye. He'll get around on the left boot, open goal square, makes no mistake.
No mistake in kidney, was it?
Well, mate, mistake made by Darley again defensively.
Mistaken kidney.
Right, we try and do a serious football program here, and you've got to make a complete deal of yourself.
No.
Stephen Pye with his...
It's just the game's sort of got to...
no, I know, but we need to
give...
Yes, I know, but we need to give the game due respect. And look, it's been a terrific... They're an exciting team to watch, East Point. They're a very exciting team to play.
When they're running, they are.
So again, ball in the middle. Jake Edwards. Get the clearance up to centre half forward. Hanson's gone out of the game. East Point can clear through... it might have been Cashin up to centre wing. Ball sent nicely for Jackal. Tried to offload it by hand. Didn't necessarily do so successfully, but he had support and landed onto McGrath. McGrath goes into the middle of the ground. Tongue with the defensive spoil. Saul Grenfell looking for a free kick. Open the door for Delaney. Looking for Tongue. Couldn't trap it on the half volley. Tongue trying to anticipate, but well done by Hitchings. Just tapped it into space, but it was won by Hine, and he'll just swing it out wide in good strong hands. And Romerell, a little bit of attention after he had taken the mark by Jackal, but takes the mark regardless. And Jack Romerell, kick to half forward. Brady in front, couldn't complete the mark. Front and square was McGill. Handed off to Ellis. Into the path of Gundry, took the mark on the stretch. Need to release the football back to the ruckman in McAllister. Composed, did very well. Through tight traffic that time, just pinpointed the paths where he found Dane Grenfell. Now Grenfell's be looking to hand this off. He does to the runner, Jake Edwards, who will load it up with a thumping kick. Goes all the way. No, it's hit the post. Good effort from outside 50. But just didn't quite get the accuracy. And 38 points the margin. 15-13, plays 9-11. This point, bring it in quickly, looking for Kotorenko, but good contest provided by Darren Leonard. Force the ball over the boundary line. And there'll be another boundary throw-in, 60 around from the Darley goal. Well, they were good in patches last week, in particular their third term against Melton South, but I've been convinced by their form in games that we've seen so far, and East Point far too good for them this afternoon. Through traffic, it was Jackal had his kick smothered. It ricocheted to East Point, but they can only get it as far. The Kangaroos to Dane Grenfell on centre wing. Swing the ball along inside 50, but all these point numbers there. And getting back, mark is taken by Daniel Tongue, by the looks of it, who's taken that mark. Kick to a 2-on-1 contest, favoured the Devils there. Ellis tried to claim the mark, and in fact has been paid the mark. Sure that David Brady's too impressed by that, but Ellis just nursed a little kick over the top. Again, outnumbered Darley. Coming across half back was Tongue, couldn't take clean possession. East Point player eventually released it to Harley Inglis. He'll handball wider still this time to Hanson on the run. He's gone goalwards, but he's gone right across the face. Hooked it a little too much, put it out of bounds on the full, and East Point play on quickly. Find Walters still inside defensive 50, and he just chips a little pass to Romerell. Romerell will do likewise, looking for Delaney. Well done by Tate Stone. And Cat's boy did well that time with defensive spoil. Denied Delaney the opportunity to take the mark, and they'll reset again. The boundary throw. Now there's a holding free kick against Kotorenko. He's not particularly impressed either. It'll go to Leonard. He's got the link of Dane Grenfell, go long up inside 50. All of the East Point numbers getting back. Slap the ball into open space. McGill taken down, dispossessed. Still deep inside defensive 50, but East Point player taken down that time. I think that was Park. Didn't seem to have the football as he was dragged to the ground. And right up against the boundary line, the ball's found its way over. 29.5. Can't be too long to go. McAllister from behind. Down to Page, had his kick smothered. Pye collected the football and then had the run of Brady, of Boyle rather. Kicks into the path of Jaden Hine with a couple of bounces. Approaches centre half forward, and then he'll kick long into the path of Daniel Jordan. Was he held in the back, or has he gone a little too far? Has he pushed after he kicked it? Jaden Hine, it is going to be a relayed free kick and 50 metres against Sean Deckett.
What for what?
Oh, he probably opened his mouth. I would suggest there was no contact made whatsoever, and Sean Deckett's just slowly making his way to the goal line. Daniel Jordan won't even wait. Well, yes, he will, because he's got to turn time on back on or something, I would suggest. But in the end, just off a step, steers the ball over the head of both Sean Deckett and the goal umpire. He's got 6 this afternoon. And East Point, well, this is probably more reflective of their dominance this afternoon. It hasn't been a good day for the Devils, but East Point have been impressive. 16-13, 109 to Darley, 9-11, 65. We've ticked into 30 and a half minutes of this final term, and Daniel Jordan...
I've actually got him 18-13.
16-13, 109.
Sorry, I put it on the wrong thing.
Yeah, you've done my trick, except you write it down.
Yeah.
So loose ball in the middle again. Delaney went to ground. He was beaten to it by Jake Edwards. A little handball back inboard to the run of Page. Ran his full measure. Drives the ball inside 50 and reading it well. Just had the sit that time, Scott McAllister, even though he was behind. Takes no time over the kick. It's a floating looking ball, and he's gone right across the face and has just managed to squeeze it in for a minor score. But that is a comprehensive victory, as you're going to see, by East Point this afternoon. They got the slow start. It took them a while to work themselves into the game. In fact, trailed at quarter time. But after that, 5-1 in the second term really set the game up. 16 points, the margin at half time. And then from that point, it was a 6-2 final term that finally broke the game open. In the end, East Point record their 4th victory of the season and do so by 43 points. The final scores here at Eastern Oval: 16-13, 109 to Darley, 9 goals, 12-66. Keep an eye out for Barry Ag at ground level. Apparently